I'm still here. I'm still pacing. My doctor's turned his back on me, and I phoned up, and I got a letter from him saying that I don't even know what it was. So I phoned up and spoke to the receptionist, explained everything. That's me doing that. Oh yeah. Explained everything and said I want his help to see the footage. Probably was talking to the wrong person. So she says, yes, okay, I'll get you an appointment with the doctor in a month. And it's not even physically one-to-one. It's going to be a telephone conversation, so I'm looking forward to that. We were very, very close to a sunblast. I noticed in one of my posts I said about there's the chemtrail in the sky far too much just recently, and that they're protecting the sensitive technology. So I'm right, but if I'm right about that, I'm right about the water disappearing around the world. I'm right about the three main springs in this valley on each corner. That sound right, does it? A valley's supposed to be like that, but in this valley it's like that. And I've got a river that used to be at the bottom of my my garden, the A58, and I have a feeling that we're going to get a river there again. I have a feeling that I've been born in this valley many times. That's why I get so cross with people, and that's why when I see them this more recently destroying history than ever before and hiding history, but it's all there, you see. So even if there is a major disaster, move to the Pennines, come on up here, we're probably better off. So, having an observer ranch, as this guy says on the programme he's on, I'll shout that out, Observer Ranch, weather, space, news. But he's good as a spiritual guy as well. I don't agree with everything he says, but then nobody should, really. You have to have your own opinion. I think he's fine. The garden's all lit up. It's broken, but it works. A bit like me. And it hasn't stopped raining. And yet you watch, there'll be a hosepipe ban on in end of spring. Serpent's not happy about his water not being there. Now he is waking up. And I've noticed Yorkshire Water have got the van out there quite a lot across the other side on Miss Lister Road, right by where the water is being taken. And when we do get these floods, it's going to come down from up. It's the old springs. And Beacon Hill gives more secrets out, and it's just there. You can see the levels of when we've had the earth has burnt and when the earth has flooded, and it's on a cycle. And that hillside did not happen on one sway. Poof. Didn't just turn up. It's happened for many, many times. And Halifax is about 12 foot down. If you do your research on the bus station, what's just been built, they found some buildings, and there must have been, 14, 15, 16, I don't know, 20 foot down. You'd have to do your own research on it. And Halifax is on a slope as well. As I've said, I think it was a meteor that hit made of iron, and then formed the Pennines. That was all done in one go. But the Beacon Hill doesn't look like it was all done in one go, because, like I say, you can see the levels. Black, burnt, dead. Must have been very swampy, and the water must have not been retrieved. Anyway, I'm still here. My friend's coming up, and I'm hoping to do some ceremonies. I am certainly being challenged. I'd like to do a cartoon version of what my version of was. Going down to saying the prayers, going down into town as I did, welcoming the dead that died on North Bridge. I do worry that ceremony was so special, without me knowing, but being guided by love and light, that I believe it's gone down. Someone said to me in spirit, and I didn't understand what they said, that you have done something in spirit that is recorded down. Never really happens, not normally. That they were rejoicing and shouting and yay, and I'm like, what, like patting me on the back, so to speak. Didn't have a clue what they're on about. I haven't been to a spiritual church in years. I'm not a spiritualist, but I'm a spiritual person and I see people, so why shouldn't I? My granddad was, and my great-grandma was too, on the other side. So there's a strong line down my family of mediums and healers. That's what Bess was, and Emmy. Anyway, going off, what was I talking about? Oh, and it was only half finished. It's gone. Maybe I should talk about it at some other point. I'm okay. Still confused and get bouts of anger. And channel it. Don't like leaving the house. But I suppose that's not a bad thing if the sun's giving off a blast of its radiation. Make sure you have a cellar in your house, or if you haven't, build one, a bunker. So you got it from above and from below. Not saying it's going to happen for a while, but it's always best to be prepared. I've got lots of things that I like to have. So long-lasting things like peanut butter. Seeds, collect seeds. Have a collection of seeds. Know where the springs are, because it's coming from the springs, but at the same time, if they go down, which I think they will. I want to put a boat at the bottom of my garden. I was thinking, should I build? How can I build one? What is that all about? Lengthways to where the riverbank would have been. Houseboat. Thinking, how the hell am I going to get a houseboat there? Can you crane them over houses? How big? Oh, do you know? When you've got so much going on in your head, and then you've got ceremonies that I'm supposed to do on the equinox. Everybody is a magician. Everybody has love inside them. Everybody could see what I can see, but I wouldn't fully recommend it because there's a lot of negativity in this world, but there's a lot of love as well. Do you know, I'm going to share this. I was doing a a do at Claremont House. And shout out to St Thomas's, because they used to bring the kids round to do a carol service. So I'd end up with the full day room being filled by, I'm going to call them residents, I hate the word service users, by the residents. And you've got to be careful with people with different types of dementia, and there were different types, from frontal to vascular to all different types, Alzheimer's. Anyway, some of the scout leaders were there to help the kids, but they were at the front with the kids. So I was like, all the staff disappeared. All the staff disappeared and went on the break, every one of them. And I did find them in the kitchen, all of them sat there like they were having a break, having a wonderful time, while I was in there with 22 residents and their two of them didn't go, and some of the family, mostly, but the family didn't really go because I requested that, because there was not enough space for really the family to turn up. Although it wasn't nice, some did, and I appreciate that, because they could help me, and they did help me. And I'm trying to at one point stop the pit from who needs to be given sweets, because it would have choked them. They were on puree meals and stuff. So I was like that. I was being the guest. I was trying to help. And I could see this lovely lady. I want to say her name, but I won't. And her mum was a police officer. Oh, anyway, it doesn't matter. Anyway, I could see this lovely lady, and she couldn't really move. She couldn't speak. She was probably got in dementia, and then got locked-in syndrome. And I think I used to talk to her, I did. Anyway, she had locked-in syndrome with dementia, and I would often talk to her and do her nails and stuff. And she was in the corner. And while I'm trying to shuffle and stop one man from doing something to another lady and watching everything that was going on, I was so conscious of an angel, yellow, sprouting, yellow and white coming off above her, in the corner above her. And it was a spiritual moment and a half, plus. And I couldn't concentrate to respect her. I think it was Beryl. I think it was her soul that was so happy at that time, because it was a cruel place for people like that, and I just tried to make it the best life they could. I'd also try and help them to move forward. And sometimes I would go into a room when someone was on the way out, and the carers were scared, and two, they would leave the lights on and music on BBC One and stupid things like that. So and then there was this one lady that would argue with me saying the curtains need to be open, and I'm like, no, find out what is the family wants and respect, and ask the person if they can. And then respectfully, I used to keep them half closed, half open, half dim, half dim. There's things that we don't understand what's happening when someone dies. Small thing going on. First experience I had, the family of someone asked me to hold the hand of the man that was dying, and he died while I held his hand. I've never experienced that before. I didn't experience like the Ghost, the film Ghost. I didn't even know he was blooming dead. So I'm not afraid of death. I'll quite possibly be the next one. Because I saw myself on the hilltop once, and when I did a ceremony in my 20s, early 20s, because I knew that place was amazing. It was snowing as well. And I remember doing this ceremony, and I always make sure I look at it and make it wise. You can't just do things willy-nilly. So what I did was I opened up a pillar of light. Now, you can't just leave a pillar of light that open. So I had my favourite candle my friend gave me, and it was in the shape of, it had the universe all around it. So I used that. I it was a gift to the universe and to them that were following. Anyway, when I did this ceremony, I sensed these children being held to, like holding hand in hand in they call crocodile fashion, and they were walking along. I'm going to start calling it Wakefield Gate, towards where I'd made a little altar, and while I was sat there praying and saying, when this candle goes out, then that's when the pillar of light will go. Please let it be going for as long as it can, and let those that need to go into the light be, that are lost, to see it and be guided to it. And I remember at one point feeling behind me and turning around and seeing a man in a green monk's outfit holding quite a tall crook, like I at the time I thought was a sheep's crook, and it was bent at the top, and thought, that's my time to go. Oof. And when I got home, I felt as though I'd done something really good and really nice, very spiritual. And what I had noticed, what did freak me out, was that there was a whole ring of cloud around me with the full cloud behind it, and there was a circle in the sky about a mile long, and you could see the stars really, really strong. And I was like, wow, that's the power of energy and love. And then a few weeks later, it was in the paper, maybe not a few weeks, it was in the paper, a psychic was and she is a very good psychic, Bridget Benson. And she was in the paper because her son was only a little boy now, and he's grown up, so that shows you how far back, and probably with a family of his own. She took him to a blessing of this place because this building was opened up, and they found out that there was a workhouse there, and that the children were causing a lot of psychic irregularities, poltergeist basically, and she was doing the work of clearing, helping cleanse them and move them forward. And the reason she was in the paper was because a little boy could see them, which doesn't surprise me. I did tell her about that, but I was only young, and I think she didn't understand what I was trying to say to her. That just when you were doing a ceremony, it means that someone else could be doing the same similar ceremony. So anyway, I'm still here. Not sure which way this angle's coming up. It's coming up to Ann Lister's weekend soon, my old mate. I am feeling the presence of Anne Walker a lot. Maybe that's because she was going through a mental health, and the people of Halifax probably sent her that way, just like me. Anyway, signing off. Blessings to you all.